Good morning, everyone, children. Children, in our previous chapters, we studied three chapters uh, one by one, and today I am going to explain you chapter number 4 of class 6, that is the Earth, our habitat, from the book of geography, and the chapter is maps. Children, what do you know about maps? Maps are uh, description about places, about lakes, villages, rivers, plains, plateaus, mountains. They give us an idea about its location, its understanding. We come to approximate knowledge before practical. So, children, maps are made on a scale, and if we say it is not a practical but an idea before practical, and practical is as excursion is done in geography. It is also a part of academic curricular, and in that academic curricular we do the practicals of maps. We see visually everything. We see seas, mountains, plains, plateaus, rivers, lakes, islands, everything we see. And visual knowledge, visual gain of knowledge is more meaningful. So, children, let's go through our lesson. Class 6, chapter 4, that is maps. Children, we have learned in the previous chapter about the advantages of globe. In our previous chapter, we learned about the advantages of globe. What are the advantages of globe? In last chapter about latitude and longitude we studied. It described us about the location of the places. It described us the latitudinal extent of the places from north to south and east to west in longitudinal. That we understood by everything. We came to know about the grid pattern. That grid pattern helps us to know places exactly where they are lying. However, globe has limitations as well. Means everything cannot be understood by the globe. It also has limitations. Means it is not a practical knowledge. It is a theoretical knowledge. A globe can be useful when we want to study the earth as a whole. When we want to study the earth as a whole, in whole sense, then it is useful. Means one at a time. If you want to just read at a sight, at a glance, you can read whole of the globe in a just overview. But if you go for the practical, you will have to travel a lot and see the vivid descriptions of the physical earth. But when we want to study only a part of the earth, as about our country, India, states, districts, towns, and villages. I think you all know what is country, India. State, we have 28 states in India. Districts, each state had 6 districts, and each districts have many towns, and each towns, they are the part, they have many villages also in a district. It is of little help. In such a situation we use maps. Means when we have to study separately one by one, we need maps. A map is a representation or a drawing of the earth's surface. A map is a representation or a drawing of the earth's surface or a part of it drawn on flat surface according to scale. Here is the definition given, you can see it. A map is a representation, a map is a outlook or a drawing of the earth's surface, means a earth's surface is drawn on the maps or a part of it drawn on a flat surface according to scale. Means you can draw on the earth surface, and when you see it on the scale, there will be no difference when you see on the flat surface. Means you will find the same distance between the places that you study on the map as per scale. It is impossible to flatten a round shape completely. It is impossible to flatten a round shape completely. Means which is talked to flat? The earth. Earth cannot be flattened, but we study it on map and use different projections, different scales to understand the flat surface of the earth on the map. Okay, later than here is given, let's do. Take an old rubber ball and draw whatever you like all over it. You take an old rubber ball and draw whatever you like all over it. You may also mark North Pole and South Pole on it. Now cut this ball with a knife and try to flatten it. Notice how the drawings are distorted. Means difficult, totally impossible. We find that maps are useful to us for various purposes. One map shows a small area and a few facts. One map shows a small area and a few facts. All facts are not shown together on a single map. Another map may be contain as many facts as a big book. Means facts are contained in it, but no, we cannot use it at a glance. When many maps are put together, we get an atlas. When many maps are put together, we get an atlas. Atlas are of various sizes, measurements drawn on different scales. Maps provide more information than a globe. Children, scales, we measure it, means 1 centimeter on map is 500 kilometers, like this. 1 centimeter map is on the flat earth surface, it is 5 kilometers, like this. We make maps on in the atlas. Maps provide more information than globe. They are of different types. Some of them are described below. Now this is your basic class, so you have to know how maps are made. Physical maps, maps showing natural features of the earth such as mountains, plateaus, plains, rivers, oceans, etc. are called physical or relief maps. Relief means up and down of the earth. Don't understand the relief is a comfort. Relief is the up and down of the earth. Means somewhere like mountains, somewhere plains, somewhere plateaus, somewhere islands, coastal areas like this, deserts, है all these things are found over it. So physical maps are like this. Now political maps showing cities, towns and villages and different countries and states of the world with their boundaries are called political maps. Means political map shows the boundaries of cities, towns and villages and different countries and states of the world with their boundaries are called political maps. I think you understood. Maps showing the boundaries of the cities, towns and villages and countries and states, they are called political maps. Now there are another type, that is thematic maps. Some maps focus on specific information. Means you came to know about physical map, political maps. There are thematic maps. Means physical and political is not the completion of atlas. we need more information from, we can get more information from the maps. We can get the knowledge of road maps, how the roads are distributed on the earth in a specific country or in a state or in a district or in a town or in a village. You can come to know about all these things about roads, about rainfall maps, maps showing distribution of forest, industries. Means all these things you see at a time and together also. So these are the thematic maps. Means having some motto. Motto, what motto? Motto of roads, showing road maps, showing rainfall maps, maps showing distribution of forest, maps showing the industries are known as thematic maps. Suitable titles are given on the basis of information provided in these maps, and they are given some titles also, like distribution of map, like distribution of forest, like distribution of population, like distribution of industries. All these things separately shown on different maps. There are three components of map. Now you came to know about these three maps: physical maps, political maps, and thematic maps. In thematic maps, road maps, rainfall maps showing distribution of forest, industries, all these things you come to know about. Now all these things. Now next thing is, there are three components of map. Components map: distance, direction, and symbol. We have different types of symbols to show different things lying in a village, lying in a district, lying in a state, lying in a town or in a country. Huh? Map shows the right direction over the plane. Map shows the distance lying on the surface of the earth. So first we see how the distance is shown on the map. Maps are drawing which reduce the entire world or a part of it to fit on a sheet of paper. Maps are drawing. He is saying maps are drawing that you make on your sheet, drawing copy. So same they are. Maps are like a drawing which reduce the entire world. Means whole of the world is reduced on the drawing or a part of it to fit on a sheet of paper, and drawing is made in such a way that it is fitted on the paper, sheet of paper. Or we can say maps are drawn to reduced scales. Now how can they be reduced on the paper, sheet of paper? We make them on the reduced scales, lower scales, like 1 centimeter is equal to 5 kilometer, 1 centimeter is equal to 1 kilometer, 1 centimeter is equal to 500 meters. Means as much detail we want, the small is the scale. Okay. So like this we get more information according to the scale. Okay, we can see maps are drawn to reduce the scale, but this reduction is done very carefully so that the distance between the place is real. Means this reduction is done very carefully so that there may not be any difference between the map and the reality. It can only be possible when a small distance on paper represent a large distance on the ground. Now if we want to show whole of India, we have to take greater scales regarding distance on the ground. Okay, like 1 centimeter is equal to 500 kilometers. Okay, 1000 kilometers. Okay, like this we can make the maps. Large distance we have to get it. Therefore a scale is chosen for this purpose. Scale is the ratio between the actual distance. What is scale? Scale is the ratio between the actual distance on the ground and the distance shown on the map. For example, the distance between your school and your home is 10 km. If you show this 10 km distance by 2 cm on a map, it means 1 cm on the map will show 5 km. Means if you want 1 cm on the map will show 5 km on the ground. Clear? If you make a drawing on the sheet of a paper and you are showing 1 cm on the drawing sheet, it is exactly 5 kilometers on the surface. Means it depends on you which scale you take. Okay, the scale of your drawing will be 1 centimeter is equal to 5 kilometers. Thus scale is a very important in any map. If you know the scale, you will be able to calculate the distance between any two places on a map. Okay, According to scale, you can measure the distance between two places easily without any mistake, without any fault. When large areas like continents or countries are to be shown on a paper, then we use a small scale. For example, 5 centimeter on the map shows 500 kilometers. See, now when we are seeing continents, what are continents? Asia continent, Europe continent, Africa continent, America continent, North America continent, South America continent, like this. Okay, and I think you understood. So continents, countries, you are seeing on a paper, like countries. There are many countries in the world. So then we use a small scale. For example, 5 centimeter on the map shows 500 millimeter. Means when you see 5 centimeter distance on the map, it is in real 500 kilometer on the ground. It is called a small scale map. When a small area like your village or town is to be shown on paper, then we use a large scale. That is 5 centimeter on the map shows 500 meters only on the ground. Understood? 5 centimeter on the map shows 500 meters on the ground. It is called a large scale map. Large scale maps give more information than small scale maps. Okay? Yes. Now here is some exercise given. Let's do. Look at the figure 4.1. There is a scale. It may be used for measuring distance between places. For example, the distance between the well and the tree is 5 centimeter. It means the actual distance is 50 meters. Now the distance between the PO to Kareem house is 12 centimeter. It means 120 meters on the ground. But you cannot fly like a bird directly from E to A. You will have to walk on the road. Let us measure the total walking distance from E to C, then C to M, M to B, and B to A. Add all these distances. This will be the total walking distance from Kareem's house to the post office. Okay, so like this you can measure it on the map. Means you have to measure it according to the scale on the map, on the drawn sheet, and you will find exact distance between the two places lying on the ground. Now directions. One thing more, the maps are not wrong. The maps that are made on a scale, they are not wrong. Even they show the right direction in which the place is lying. Most maps contain an arrow marked with the letter N. Most maps contain an arrow marked with the letter N. N is north at the upper right hand corner. This arrow shows the north direction. It is called the north line. When you know the north, you can find out other directions, for example, east, west, and south. You can easily know if north is lying on the upper side, then the lower side, downside is south, and in the left side it is east, and in the right side it is west. There are 4 major directions: north, south, east, west. They are called cardinal points. Other 4 intermediate directions are northeast, southeast, southwest, and northwest. We can locate any place more accurately with the help of these intermediate directions. You see, here is a map of village given here. You can see here is post office given, shops given, well given, school given, playground given, tree, community center, and Vikas, Sheila, Kareem, and orchard. Okay, playground, all these things. And here there is given a direction over in the upper side, and the scale is also given. Okay, so find out the following direction from the figure 4.1. The direction of the community center, the playground from Vikas house, and the direction of school from source. And here is given a distribution of different directions, like you see here: north opposite south, west opposite east, northwest opposite southeast, and northeast opposite southwest. You can see it like this. You can by using this cardinal direction map, you can easily find out the directions where Vikas lives, in which side Sheila lives, in which direction Sheila live, Kareem live, and orchard, where is in which direction well lies from the Sheila's house or Vikas's house, and where lies the shops, in which direction the shops lies from the Vikas house. Like this you can come to know by the directions. And this is the cardinal direction map given here. You are seeing it. I described you. Now we can find out the direction of a place with the help of a compass. Now somewhere, if you are not getting the north direction over the drawn sheet, then you can use the uh, compass. We can find out the direction of a place with the help of a compass. It is an instrument used to find out main directions. Its magnetic needle always point towards north-south direction. Means this compass always points towards the north direction. Its magnetic needle always point towards north-south direction. Okay, wherever you keep it. It is third important component of a map. Now we are going through symbols. Compass is a medium to find out the direction of north direction, and if you got north, you can easily known to the south and east west direction. Now we come to the third point. That is third point. We came to know about 2 points. You can see it. This is, what are the 3 things we were going to study? We were studying the 3 things were distance, direction, and symbol. We studied distance, we studied direction, and now we have to study symbols. Symbols also play a very important role in a map. It is the third important component of a map. It is not possible to draw on a map the actual shape and size of different features such as buildings, roads, bridges, trees, railway lines, or a well. So they are shown by using certain letters, shades, colors, and pictures, lines. These symbols give a lot of information in a limited space. With the help of use of these symbols, maps can be drawn easily and are simple to read. Even if you don't know the language of an area, therefore cannot ask someone for direction, you can collect information from maps with the help of these symbols. Maps have a universal language that can be understood by all. Means these symbols throughout the world are same. There is no change line for making of the map. All the symbols are same everywhere. There is an international agreement regarding the use of these symbols. These are called conventional sign. Conventional, traditional symbols. Some of the conventional symbols are shown here. You can see it here. Many things are shown here. Railway line, broad gauge, meter gauge, and railway station. Differently features are made there. Roads, metalled, non-metal. First is metal, second is non-metal, unmetal. Next is boundary, different shapes, international boundary, state boundary, and district boundary. Each have a different feature. Now rivers, well, tank, canal, every feature has a different face, different symbol. Temple, church, mosque, each are shown in different symbols. You can see it in the map 4.3. Now post office, PO, then post and telegraph office, PTO, then police station, PS, settlement, you can see by the red symbols. Graveyards, you can see it, the circular tomb type feature shown there. Trees, grass, like these symbols are internationally accepted everywhere in the world. If you are handy map, you can easily find out without asking from anyone. Various colors are used for the same purpose. For example, generally blue is used for showing water bodies, brown for mountain, yellow for plateau, and green is used for plains. Understand it? Again I am repeating this. Blue for water bodies, brown for mountain, and yellow for plateau, and green is used for plains. Sundarpur village and its surrounding areas. You can see the symbols are given here. By these symbols you can come to know about the graveyard, about the temple, about the school, about the church, and about the mosque. You can easily come to know about the settlements, about the greenery, green colors on, about the north direction, about the railway tracks, about the roads. Everything by the symbols you can easily understand. Now there is one more way to make a map, like a sketch. A sketch is a drawing mainly based on memory and spot observation and not to scale. A sketch is I can say a rough idea, not an exact location. Maps are the exact location of places on the map on a sheet, but sketch is not a exact location of place. It is a rough sketch, you can say. A sketch is drawing mainly based on memory and spot observation and not to scale. Sometimes a rough drawing is required of an area to tell where a particular place is located. with respect to other places. Means if something is to be shown on the sketch, we use different features, different places to assign a single place, so that to know the different place lying in different parts. Suppose you want to go to your friend's house, but you don't know the way. Your friend may make a rough drawing to show the way to his house. Such a rough drawing is drawn without scale and is called a sketch map. Rough, I told you before, this is a rough sketch, है ना? So if someone asks you where I have to go to shop, and you say turn east, turn west, if still he is not understanding, you try to make them sketch and make him understand how to go to the place. So children, like this you can find out the place. Here is the figure 4.4 that is given above, and you have to do these answers by seeing that sketch. See it carefully and do it. Now there is a plan. Plan is a drawing of a small area on a large scale. It is the drawing of a smallest area on a large scale. A large scale map gives a lot of information, but there are certain things which we may sometimes want to know. For example, the length and the breadth of a room, which cannot be shown in a map. At that time we can refer drawing drawn to scale called a plan. Drawing drawn to scale called a plan. Let's do visit web portal School Bhuvan NCERT and draw online neighborhood map on satellite. Now children, like this is a completion of the chapter. I will send you also question answers of all these exercises. I hope you do all these activities that are given in it, and if you need any query, if you have any query, put in the below box and I will resolve it further. Okay, thank you.